Good morning. It is definitely the weekend. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman, and boy, oh boy, are we busy today. In the co-pilot seat this morning is my good friend, 30-year veteran in the plumbing industry, Ron Alexander from Shelby Mechanical. Good morning.
Good morning, Adam. It's good to be back.
Right?
It's been a while.
It's like you were here, and then some pandemic started, and then you weren't here, and now you're back like nothing ever happened.
Yeah.
welcome
it
back,
happened,
friend.
all right.
Yeah, right? Well, meanwhile, while this all happened, business exploded,
Business is insane right now.
right?
Hiring people isn't, forget it.
Labor,
Good luck.
right? So that, the pressure on that is what happens is when you can't find people, you have to raise your prices because it thins the herd a little bit. And
Exactly.
it's a terrible thing to do because a lot of homeowners are like, well, I can't afford to pay more. And I don't blame them, but there's nothing you can do.
The employees know that. They kind of got you over a barrel. They know what they can come in and ask for raises and things like that. I mean, they know there's a shorthand for every five plumbers that retire, one's coming in the trade. That's horrific.
That's a big thinning of the herd for sure. I have a friend who owns a restaurant, and he said to me the other day, and I was talking to him, I'm like, how are you, he did a really good job managing through the pandemic. Like the carryout business was on fire. And he
Right.
literally pivoted his business quickly.
You had to.
But his head chef just came to him the other day and said, hey, got to sit down and talk to you. And he knew it was coming.
Right.
And the chef's like, I've been getting offers all over town. I like working here. I need a raise. He's like,
Yep.
okay, let's work on it. He goes, I want a $5 an hour raise.
I've been down that road.
And so he said he was smart. He said to the chef, he says, while I appreciate that, I don't want to answer you right now. Can you give me a day? And he wanted to think about it because his initial reaction was like, what are you kidding me? But today's society and today's business, it's the tail wagging the dog kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And so he said to me, he says, Adam, I had to literally just think, okay, the guy's been really good. He's been with me 7 years. He shows up consistently. He's already paid, in his opinion, a very good wage because he's in the kitchen.
Head chef, yeah.
And he says, I ran some calculations. Another, he goes, it's minimal to the whole big picture, except the repercussion he was saying is if he opens his mouth to somebody else, if word gets out, it's like a domino effect. Everyone else says, well, if you're paying him,
Yeah, that's true.
the problem because, loose lips sink ships. So he decided, he says, listen, can we do $3 an hour? And then in another 60 days, I'll bump it to $5 no matter what happens. And the guy looked at him and said, yep, you know what? That's fair. And it was like a win-win.
Right.
And he said, please do me a favor. I don't want you to talk to anyone because if someone else gets wind of this, they're either going to go shop themselves, and then all of a sudden prices go up. And I'm already seeing the prices up on everything.
Oh, yeah.
Inflation's here.
My estimates have gone up. I mean, I'm down the same boat. I had the same thing. I had a gentleman come in, one of my head guys, and we negotiated some things. And I mean, there's other things you can do in trades, maybe not in the restaurant business, but we were able to, hey, how about if I give you a piece of the pie? If this large job brings in so much, you get a percentage of what your profit is. And so we were able to negotiate some different things.
That's a good one.
But I want to keep the guys. The guys have been with me a long time. I don't want them going anywhere. Regardless of it's just not always about money. It's about how you run your business and take care of the guys.
Well, it's the culture as well. People don't realize a good culture, people are loyal. But if you communicate with your employees, it's a good thing. And so in the home improvement business, right now, because prices have gone up, and lumber prices are stabilizing, but there's other prices, and the other thing that's hurting the business is the distribution. I had a window job that we're ordering windows for a building in Birmingham, and the window manufacturer says the windows will be in December, January.
Wow.
I'm like, whoa. And then I go, well, how do we schedule installation? He goes, well, as soon as we get them on site, we will schedule your installation, and we'll always hold. It'll be 3-4 weeks from delivery. So everyone's like, well, why are we waiting so long? I'm like, well, you ordered quality windows. They're custom, and they get them in the factory. And the factory's half-staffed right now.
Yep.
And the distribution is there's only 5 trucks delivering windows as opposed to 50 trucks.
I ordered 70 shower bases back in, I'm going to say March, and it won't even be here till October 25th. I got the text yesterday.
Oh, my God.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. So what do you do is the question. So anyways, we got Ron Alexander from Shelby Mechanical, 30-year plumber, a Hire It Done pre-screened contractor, one of the best plumbers in Metro Detroit. We're talking about home improvement business. Today is Shout Out Saturday, so if you're listening, text us 248-539-9797. If you're a contractor, essential worker, public, anything, text us that you're listening. We'll give you a shout out. And if you have a question Google can't answer, maybe Ron and I can give you the answer. Of course, it's got to be in the home improvement business.
Or we'll just lie.
Yeah. So, Ron, let me ask you this. I was reading, one of my favorite magazines. This is aging me.
Toilets Are Us.
Family Handyman. Toilets Are Us. Well, the article, it's funny. The article is how to caulk a toilet to the floor.
Oh, geez.
And so what it said is for the best seal, caulk the floor before you set the toilet. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to ask this to Ron. So here's what he wrote. Here's what this article says. It says a master plumber shares his secrets for setting toilets on the floor. The key is getting a good caulk seal between the toilet and the floor, which prevents rocking and protects against leaks. Now, let's break this down. A toilet going on the floor. First thing is you've got the flange on the floor.
Correct.
Then you got a wax ring that goes on the flange. Now explain to the listeners. We're going to take a break, but I want you to explain to the listeners step by step how a toilet's installed, and then we're going to see where the caulking shows, because this picture shows the caulking on the inner of the ring. So we're going to see in a second. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, folks, how to caulk a toilet, because I love toilets. My name's Adam Helfman. This is the Hire It Done Radio Network. Welcome back. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. We've got Ron Alexander from Shelby Mechanical in studio. Welcome back, Ron.
Good morning, everyone.
Ron, let me ask you. We were talking about how to caulk a toilet, and this Family Handyman article says that this master plumber says that he's sharing secrets, and he said a good caulk seal between the toilet and the floor prevents rocking and protects against leaks. Okay, so they're showing them caulking the inner rim of the base of the toilet. So let's go through. There's a flange on the floor where the toilet sits on. There's two bolts that come up. And then on the flange, you put the wax ring.
The wax ring, and then you set the toilet. I mean, a properly set toilet shouldn't need caulk to stop it from rocking.
Well, those two bolts lock it in place.
Well, yeah, but the tile's not always level. So
Okay.
they have little plastic shims we can use, and then we caulk. You never put caulk under the toilet. If you have to pull that toilet trying to get it loose from that tile with all this caulk underneath it, chances are you're going to be popping tile.
So here's what he's saying. He's saying set the toilet down on the flange before the wax ring, put blue tape around the outer edge of where the toilet sits on the floor, and then when you lift the toilet back up, caulk the inner side of the blue tape, then set the toilet with the wax ring and everything, and then caulk the outer rim.
No, that's waste. That's
right?
foolish. Yeah,
Okay,
that's
I
a
wanted
waste
to
of
make
time.
sure.
I mean,
All
the only time you need blue tape, I guess, if you're using 100% silicone or something, which nobody does use on toilets.
Yeah.
I mean, you put it down, you wipe it with a wet sponge, and you use your finger, and off you go. It looks beautiful. It's smooth, like a professional did it.
That's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
So if you have a question or you want to shout out today, it's Shout Out Saturday, 248-539-9797. Shout out to Jim and Joe Chiria, C&G Electric in Shelby Township.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Must be neighbors of you because you're out of Shelby, right?
Yeah, we're out of Shelby also. Yep,
And then John and Andy McAllister, those are my boys from McAllister Fence. They're on their way putting up a fence. So shout out to them, of course. If anyone needs a fence, those guys rock. So
my old buddies just text me around Powerski Plumbing. Some old friends of mine. Yeah, they've been in business, God, 100 and some odd years. Got to be in the 120s by now, I would imagine.
before copper, what did they use for plumbing?
Before copper, galvanized, wood. They've got old wood pipe in their shop in Detroit. They've showed me.
Tell me, wood pipe, is it like they just put like
They hollowed it out for like water mains. I mean, when I was living in St. Ignace back in the 80s, when I was in the Coast Guard, they still had some water mains that were still wood up there in the 80s. Yeah. They lose 50% of the water they pump out, but it was still there.
That's listen, it's called progress.
Yeah.
I'll take it. So what about today? Today you're okay with PEX?
I'm fine with PEX. Yeah.
If
We
it's
hardly
installed
ever use
properly.
copper.
So the PEX, to me, when it first came out, I'm like, this is cool. And then the plumbers I used to remember, this is like 20 years ago, they're like, well, the fittings. Now the clamp and the fittings that they redesigned, when you when you use that tool and it clamps it,
Right.
it's not going anywhere.
No, there's different ways too. Now they have Ubenor, that one that stretches the PEX, and then you slide the fitting in, then it
That's what I like.
shrinks back onto it. Yeah,
And then PEX can handle a ton of pressure, too.
Yeah. It's.
Does
we
it
use
freeze
for
and burn?
everything.
Have you ever seen a frozen PEX line?
I've seen videos of it. And,
Okay.
and have it go back to itself. But, yeah, I mean, the one thing that they don't really explain is those plastic fittings tend to, under freezing conditions, you can have some issues with those if you don't use brass. So if you're in a freezing area, we'll try to use brass fittings if it's going to be if there's a chance of potential pipe freezing.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes more sense. That's what I'm thinking. I wasn't
Probably split the brass too. Ice is pretty tough when it starts expanding.
Really? Well, that's interesting. So, Ron, let me ask you this. Plumbing, you're busy, you're hiring. What does someone do if they want to work with you? Or they're looking for a job?
Give us a call at 586-726-9444, and we'll have you in for an interview right now. I mean, we're pretty close on apprentices. We've got, we might be shy one, but finding guys that know what they're doing that can run projects, that's going to be the issue, because everyone's doing just what you said. They're paying their guys what they need to keep them.
Listen, it's part of business. It's just, here's the deal. Smart business people can pivot, and they can make moves and do what they have to do. And that's the way it's
We never stopped through COVID.
Well,
never
yeah,
stopped.
I remember we were talking all of the COVID. I used to triple mask up, come to the radio station, take a shower in Purell, washed myself with 99% alcohol. My skin ruined it, but I showed up and the show went on.
Yeah, the construction guys decided they'll do service, whatever it takes, and so we started really hitting service hard and to keep the guys busy, and it was a perfect time to work on vehicles and get them back in shape and things like that to get the shop.
Yeah, and that's the best part. That's what we want to do. So let let me ask you this. We've had crazy rains.
Yeah.
You've seen it. I've seen it. The question I have is, how many sump pump failures have you been called into to fix sump pumps, or people say, you know what, my sump was running. I'm afraid. I want to do one of those backups. In your opinion, if a house has a sump pump, it's got a regular sump pump, electric, no water backup, no battery backup, and they're like just a little bit, now with the severe weather being more and more consistent, what is your recommendation as a professional plumber for a homeowner who says, I want to be better safe than sorry? What's the best avenue right there? Speaking of just sump.
I mean, water backup pumps are for under normal conditions.
Right.
If your main pump fails and you got water pouring in and under one of these heavy storms, chances are it's not going to keep up. But it's there for normal conditions. You're out of town, it's a nice day, things like that. It'll take over until you can get your pump replaced. I would suggest having another pump set up with the same pipe length, like the one, if you disconnect your check valve down in the pit, you pull that out, measure, set up a whole nother pump the same way, where all you got to do is loosen a hose clamp, drop a new pump in, and hook it back up again, and then you're up and running if your main pump fails. Now you're getting into, if you want to get into, like Huntington Woods and Grosse Pointe and those flooding conditions, we can solve that problem, man. I went on your old buddy show, Glenn Hagee, back in 2016 when we had that storm. I called in and told him that, we can do something. There's no reason for these poor people to haul this stuff out to the street all the time.
Right.
And I got bombarded with phone calls. You're
like, whoa.
Yeah.
So what did you give it? Because I know you have the backflow preventer or the...
Yeah, the backwater valve. The cities, I called a lot of them, and they would allow us to put it on the main, which most of those houses, their the rainwater and their sewer water or sanitary lines, they connect before they leave the house. So when that rain backs up in the streets and the sewer and everything can't handle it, it's going to back up in your basement. Well, the backwater valve goes on the pipe that goes out to the street. So when street starts to back up, or the sewer's going to overwhelm the city system, it starts to back up in your house. Well, this will slam shut and won't allow it to back up in your basement. But you still have the problem to deal with of the rainwater coming into your basement, because of this, it brings the rainwater under the basement floor. So it's not sitting outside of your house, and that's how it goes out to the street. So we would put a sump pump in there. I got a little drawing. I kind of explained to people. It can get pretty technical, but it will allow the water to flow through the basket, but the pump won't ever turn on. It'll work under normal conditions like your house normally does, but if that valve slams shut and the rainwater keeps coming in, it'll rise up to where we have the pump set, and then that sump pump will kick on and pump the rainwater out, and the city sewage and water combination won't back up in your basement, it'll back up in your neighbors.
So let me ask you a question. I know you're busy, and somebody who's listening right now may say, oh my God, I got to have that for my house.
Yep.
What's the number if they want to call you to get someone out there?
586-726-9444. You call us, and we've got 2 or 3 of them going in this week in Grosse Pointe. So a lot of people are just fed up. They're like, I'm done with this.
Well, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
So is it expensive?
Between $6,000 and $7,000. It's
really?
A little project. Yeah, we're gonna break up the floor and find storm systems. So it is a project.
You got to break some concrete too.
Yeah, we got to break
All right,
concrete.
So I'm gonna break that down when we come back.
Okay.
We're gonna take a quick break. All right, everyone, keep it locked in here. If you have a question or you want to give us a shout out, or we'll give you a shout out, text us 248-539-9797. We'll be right back. Welcome back. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. Ron Alexander from Shelby Mechanical in the co-pilot seat this morning. Welcome back, Ron.
Good morning.
So, all right. So, a sump pump in a drain for your basement. You can create a system for anyone out there that will actually take under the concrete, under the basement floor, in those bleeder drains and the perimeter drains, and you'll make sure they all work in sync. You'll put a new sump pump in, and you'll make it so that if there's a rainwater coming through your house, you don't have to worry.
Right. Well, what happens, I know I kind of breezed through that pretty quick, but when your house is built, they wrap a pipe around the exterior, and they put what we call bleeders, pipes through your footing. Mm-hmm. And then when the house, we come along as plumbers, and we connect all those pipes as they come through your footing, and they either funnel it to a sump pump in new construction, or back then, these older homes that we call a combination system, we funnel them over. It goes through a trap and then hooks to your sewer. So when the city sewer backs up, all that water comes right back in your basement, the rainwater, the sewer, because it just overwhelms the system. Back then, they didn't build separate systems, where now they do. They have one for rain, one for sewer. So when you have those heavy rains, everything backs up into these homeowners' basements. It just overwhelms the entire system. So we put it's like a one-way valve, a check valve. We call it a backwater valve, where that pipe leaves your house, with the rainwater and the sewer water. So when it backs up, it slams shut. So, solves that problem. But you still have the rainwater coming into the basement through those bleeders that we put in, and they can't go out because that valve's closed. So that's where we put a sump pump in. Under normal conditions, we let the water flow in the basket, out of the basket, and then out to the street. Once that valve slams shut, the rainwater will start building up in the sump basket. We set the pump up on a block, and then once it gets up to that height, it kicks on. So when you go down there and look, once that water's down below and just flowing through, then you can start using your plumbing. Because when that valve is closed, you can't flush your toilets or take showers or anything. But that's still better than having all that sewage back up in your basement.
I don't want any of that.
No, it's a mess, and it can be, it can be fixed.
Okay, well, that's important. 248-539-9797. You got a plumbing question or any kind of question that's home improvement related, we would love to try and answer it on the air for you. Also, if you're a contractor, an essential worker, or you want a shout out, we'd love to give you, because today is Shout Out Saturday. We've got Ron Alexander in studio. We're talking about basement water coming in, the rains and everything like that, and sump pumps. Now, are there different brands of sump pump? Because I remember back in the day, Glenn Hagee used to say, you got to have Grundfuss or,
Grundfuss.
They have to be like brass. Is there a brand of sump pump that you recommend, or does it really matter?
We use either Zoller or Myers or heavy-duty cast iron.
Okay, so Zoller is the one that I have.
Yeah. Just don't go get those plastic things, man.
Okay,
just
so
stay away.
it's
not worth it. Yeah.
What about, when you say someone, what about like a battery backup? Would you recommend a battery backup?
Well, it'd be either or. I mean, there's different needs for different homes, the way they're set up. If they're on wells, they probably would be better off with a battery backup, because they're not going to have water pressure if they lose power or things like that.
But you lose power, but you have city water. The water power, but that one uses a ton of water.
Yeah, I think it's, what is it, for every 2 gallons it pumps a gallon out. It's close to that ratio. So it's an emergency thing. You want to get it fixed.
Well, the average
right away.
The average power outage is now almost 72 hours.
Is it really?
It's gotten up there now.
Right.
The grid is old. We keep hearing about it. They've been doing stuff to try and prevent it, like cutting trees. You see them trees,
Right.
However, as we all know, severe weather, one tree falls on a wire, it takes out a whole block, right? And so I had a water loss in my basement because my sump pump, the power went out. Then when it went back on, my sump, for whatever reason, broke at that point.
Oh, geez.
And
maybe a surge burned it up or something.
Yeah, and so I don't even know. So when the water came, it flooded. Yeah. So, but I was lucky. I followed my own advice. First time. I took a while ago. I was giving advice on the radio. I said, listen, go in your basement, take a picture of all your contents.
Oh, it's important.
As is. And I started taking pictures. And I took video, and then I emailed it to myself, like I said. 2 years, 3 years later, all of a sudden I have a loss in my house. And the insurance adjuster on the phone says to me, Mr. Helfman, do you have any documentation of your basement contents? And
Nice.
I'm like, yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I forgot. And he's like, okay, good. And I emailed him all the stuff, and he's like, man, this is perfect. He goes, how'd you know to do all this?
Yeah.
I go, well, I'm kind of in the home improvement business, and I give advice. He goes, And then he goes, oh, okay, well, that was really smart. It helps us with the contents and, the value and
Right.
stuff. And he Googled me because the guy, he's from like Atlanta. He goes, you didn't tell me that you're like an expert in the industry. I go, well, I'm supposedly an expert.
Yeah, from the
And he
neck
goes,
up.
okay. So he goes, well, I'm going to be in your area next week. And he met me in the house. And literally 15 minutes into the house, he looked at everything. He goes, okay, yeah. And I maxed out my policy, which reminds me, if you have an insurance agent, you need to call your agent and make sure your coverage is for some pump failure, because floods don't, if it comes in,
Not always covered. Yeah.
right. But you got to have, but my point is, he looked at me and then he started asking me home improvement questions, because I said, well, I already called my mitigation company. I had Dry Force come out. They sprayed Beneffect and they literally took care of it right away. So I mitigated fast, but still the water, the humidity, it all is crazy. So I took care of it and I got lucky.
And what you lose down there too.
Yeah. But what it did tell me is, though, I need to do some of my plumbing. I got to configure and clean it up. So I need you guys to come to my house.
All right.
So moving on to another plumbing issue, I have two 50-gallon water heaters that are literally now going on year 20.
Wow, are you kidding me?
And they're plumbed together.
Right.
They're perfect. I've never done anything. I've never even drained them. However,
I've never drained mine either.
And so I'm thinking, maybe since you're going to be coming over, maybe, and I want your opinion of this because I'm on the fence, take those out and go tankless.
Go tankless. Okay.
Now, the question is my two 50-gallon water heaters, I don't have a huge house. It's like 12,000 feet. But no, I'm just kidding. It's a ranch. I live in a ranch, by the way. The one knock I have on tankless water heaters, I love the efficiency. I love that it's unlimited hot water. I've never run out of hot water in my house, so I don't have that issue. However, with tankless, and I've done a lot over the years based on your advice and things for other people, they do say it takes another minute of water running out of the head to get hot. And then it's always hot.
Yep.
No water pressure issues. Never hear that.
No, not really. I mean, it does take we could put a research system on it. You definitely want that.
Does that defeat the purpose?
No, it's got a small little tank inside it that fires up. The big tank doesn't run.
Okay.
Renai's do, and I think Navions do, and I'm not sure about Bosch.
Okay. In your opinion, you like Renai?
Well, I like Renai's, yeah. I mean, Bradford White is coming along. I haven't really put one in yet, or we had some training on it, so we're getting a little more familiar with that brand, but we haven't started installing them yet.
Okay, well, that's why I'm going to. So, because I'm going to call the boys over at Advanced Plumbing.
Yep.
And
our buddy Justin over there.
Yeah, Josh.
Good morning, Justin.
Jeff. They're probably in Honest John's right now having pancakes.
Yeah.
Anyway, shout out to them. They're good guys.
Yeah, they
so
are.
I'm going to call them up and see what they recommend, because literally I think maybe when you're there, we might as well do that too.
Okay. We'll take a look at that.
Can we do like a complete, that, and just get a good plumbing?
Oh, we can spend all kinds of your money.
Right. Oh,
We'll put more custom toilets in.
listen, my Kohler Numi literally is a game changer. I got it before the pandemic.
Right.
Okay. Now, for anyone out there, my Kohler toilet has the heated seat. It's got a built-in exhaust fan. It's got a built-in foot warmer. It's got neon lights or LED lights, different
LED
colors.
lights, yep.
It automatically flushes. It automatically wipes your tushy, literally with warm water. Game changer, right?
Yep.
It plays music.
Do you have a little crown like on a sink next to it you can put on
No, but
when
I
you
was
sit
thinking
down?
about thinking about putting armrests.
There you
Right?
That would be great, yeah.
But
they should make it where it reclines a little bit.
But you remember when everyone was a run on toilet paper and paper towels?
Yeah, people got crazy, didn't they?
Right. So for me, here's the best part.
You didn't need it.
You don't need toilet paper with the Kohler.
Yeah.
I must have saved, I don't even know, a boatload of money.
Yeah.
Because you don't need toilet paper because it wipes your butt.
Yeah.
For anyone out there who's ever thought about...
Wash your hands, brush your
Right?
teeth, everything in there.
248-539-9797. By the way, is it the water coming into your toilet the same as the water coming out of your faucet?
Yeah.
So you can drink the toilet water if you had to.
I mean, I would
Not
prefer
out of
from the tank,
Yeah.
not the bowl.
I ain't sticking a cup in there and drinking it.
You'd be surprised if you were that thirsty.
Oy, not me. Enough toilet talk, right?
I'm
I'm just wondering because
always talk toilets. Yeah.
Right, I get it. Well, and that's the thing. So back to tankless water heaters. So a tankless water heater, because today you can get a 50. You recommend a 40 or a 50 If someone just
50 because it's I think it's like $60, $70 difference. It's hardly anything. Might as well go 50.
Okay. And you guys carry those in stock because there's another one. That's a shortage.
Yeah, we had a shortage. We the supply houses let me know when they got them, and they ship some out to me. I always keep a supply in the shop.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. I want to talk pricing on if you need a new water heater or we should upgrade, and how much is the tankless. 248-539-9797. You got a question Google can't answer. We're here to talk to you. Give us a minute. We'll be right back. Welcome back. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. Ron Alexander in studio with me. Good morning, Ron.
Good morning, Adam, once again.
So, we're talking tankless water heaters. We're talking water heaters. You said that there was again, distribution. There's a shortage of everything. Getting this stuff from the factory to the supply houses, to you, to the homeowners. That supply chain has been broken.
Oh yeah.
And so now people coming back to work slower than faster. The demand is way exceeded production, supply, and everything else.
Fixtures are terrible.
So if someone blows out a water heater and they call you and you don't have any, what do they do?
Well, we wait till we can get one. We normally can find one somewhere, but it might not be a brand we want to install. But at that point, they had no choice. If we couldn't get, we normally install Bradford Whites, but we've gone to some other manufacturers. I'm not saying they're bad. It's just not what we like to install. Although I think we've been having some problems with them lately too. Their burner assemblies and their gas valves. Bradford Whites, I think they're rushing things to market. We've had to replace 3 of them here in the last probably couple weeks.
You know what? Someone just said to me, here's a text that came in. Installed a new Bradford White water heater. Sulfur smell in the hot water is bad. How can I mitigate or get rid of the odor? Is that the
Are they
the
on
rod?
a well? If he's on a well, I mean, you can change that rod.
Magnesium rod to an aluminum?
Does
that make a difference?
God, yes, it does. There's a new one out. I'm drawing a blank here what it's made out of, but the one that comes with it, pull that one out and just replace it. Or if they're on city water, just pull it out. I mean, it's not going to make that big of a difference, really.
What is the rod there for?
They say it collects the minerals and things that are in the tank and in the water and stops it from building up. It's more, I don't think you really need them on city water, but on wells, I mean, I've gone in like a year later and the thing was completely gone. It's already eaten up.
Yeah, where's it away? I would love to. So my question to you is this. If I go with a new tankless water heater for my house, and I have these 250 gallons that are still working, do you recommend keeping them there?
Keeping what there?
The water heaters and the tankless? Like maybe put a shutoff valve and divert it and use my tankless and then have these 2 water heaters, or is it safe? No, just get rid of them.
Yeah, you're making things too complicated.
I know, I complicate everything.
Yeah, you're going to have water just sitting in those tanks. If you're not heating it, it's going to get a little stagnant. Or if you're heating it, you're heating 100 gallons for no reason.
Someone texted in using RUR 199 Renai with a built-in recirc.
Yep.
Larry Rosen.
That's what we normally use. Who is it?
Larry Rosen. Hi, Larry, whatever your name
Hi, Larry.
is. Good morning.
Yep, that's what I use. I like them. Well, they changed their warranty. That's the only thing. I mean, they used to have this great warranty. It was
6
12.
year.
No, they had a 12-6-6. It was 12 years on the burner assembly, 6 on labor, and 6 on parts. That used to help me sell a lot of them. 6 years on labor. Now it went to, I think it's like 6-1-1, if I remember correctly. Yeah, they changed that quite a bit. I don't know why.
You've put in a lot over how many years? Last 5 years at least?
Yeah, quite a few.
In the last 5 years, how many service calls have you had?
Probably 2, 3.
Okay, so they're
maybe.
still built well.
Yeah, they're still built well. We clean them. We schedule that once we install it for a year down the road. We put it in the system for a service call. We'll come out and flush it and see what condition it's in. If it's really clean, then we schedule it 2 years down the road or something for the next one. So
makes sense.
It's good to keep them clean. It's like a radiator inside. You gotta, you never change your radiator fluid. Your radiator's going to get gummed up pretty good. The same thing with these.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, you got to wash them. You got to clean them.
248-539-9797. Text us if you got a question this morning. We got Ron Alexander from Shelby Mechanical. Shout out to Lori Winston, one of my girls. She's listening. She starts her Saturday morning with the show every day. Thank you so much. Hope you're doing well. So if you get the new tankless water heater, you get rid of your other water heater, takes about a half a day to put it in?
Yeah, it depends on the venting where we have to run it and how far away in the gas. But if you, in your case, are your power vent your 250s, or they were standard vents? High efficiency water heaters.
No, they're power vents. Yes,
they're power vents. Okay, so we already got
connect to that.
Yeah, we got some holes going outside we can use.
So that'll help.
But, yeah.
You have to come out and inspect the site before you price it?
Not normally. I mean, they average between, I want to say 42 and 4,700 in that general area. For one installed.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're a good unit. I mean, it's nice once the water gets there. It's just nice to have that hot water for forever.
And you think that recirculating pump makes it come faster?
Yeah.
How does that work? Because I know tankless water doesn't heat water. Once you turn the hot water on, that water that triggers the heat.
Right. There's the Renais have a little kit that comes with them. And actually, you connect the hot and cold under the sink together. So if it's, in your case, would probably be your master bath.
Yeah.
we would connect it under that sink, so it would be doing a loop. You can set it on a timer,
I
or I
do the
believe
whole
Renai
house?
has timer or temperature. Well, it's looping to that bathroom, so as it's going, that's so everything that branches off that loop, let's say that circle, it just gets there quicker
If
to the
I don't
point
put a
of use.
recirc pipe and I just want it for the house, I should we should do a test. I should turn on my hot water with a clock and say, all right, how long does it take to get hot water with the regular water heaters?
Right.
And then after you put the new one in, see the difference.
Right.
Can you
Yep.
can you add the recirculation pump afterwards?
Yeah, yep. You can do it. It's just that kit that goes underneath the sink and then some parts. But normally it's built into the tank, like the guy that texted in, Scott, that was it does have a smaller tank inside that heats up and just does that loop.
Well, that
I
makes
mean,
sense.
we can do them with regular tanks too, so you don't waste as much water. I mean, you can set that Grundfos pump on a timer or a temperature setting, and so it just when the line cools down, it kicks on and does a loop, and when it warms up, it shuts down. So you always got it to that circle. Let's say if you had a circle in your basement, then all the sinks branch off that circle instead of coming from doing the whole circle and then
Right.
to your faucet at the time when you need it, when you call for hot water.
So let me ask you this. What if someone says to you, I have a tankless water heater that I haven't installed yet, and it's their own, they got it from a friend or whatever, and they want you to install it. You can install any brand, right?
Yeah.
But you're not going to be responsible for the warranty.
I don't. Not all brands we don't do. We'll do major brands like Navion, and I mean some of these.
The Ritz.
Yeah. Some of these Johnny Come Latelys I don't want to deal with because then I'm.
How about the ones from the big box stores?
Yeah, no, I don't want to touch those.
So let me explain to people, and you can validate this or not. If someone says to you, I went to the big box store, I went online to like a Wayfair or whatever type of site, and I bought faucets, this really cool rain head, and it's and they got it all, and they said they need you to put it in. Are you convinced that the quality of that is less than if you were to buy it from like an Advanced Plumbing, like Jeff Moss and his family?
100%.
Right?
Convinced. So if that's what they want, we're doing an apartment complex. They're buying all this stuff off Wayfair. I said, well, anything we have to service while we're installing it or after it's installed is we're going to charge you by the hour to fix it.
So have you ever had calls for someone that says, hey, I had this installed and it was like a cheaper looking but cool. It was cheaper costing, but it was really cool, square Amazon, 10-inch faucet head, whatever.
Yep.
And then what is the common break point? Is it a plastic part inside?
No, not
What usually
really.
breaks on it?
God, there's not really one thing. It's just that the handles are kind of cheaper and they tend to start leaking right away.
What leaks out of it? Is it a washer? Is it a rubber part?
Well, they're all different. They're cartridges. Some have washers. They're
The
really,
cartridges. Those always go bad.
Yeah. There's not. I mean, if you stick with a major brand, a Delta, a Kohler, a Moen, I mean, their parts are accessible. They're warranted. I mean, it's just a better way to go. You're not mailing it back. They're going to want you to buy another faucet, then then you mail yours back, and you're trying to get credit, and it's just a hassle. I don't know why. I mean, if it's just one faucet and it's something you can't find anywhere, and you're like, this is the look I'm after, then buy it. We'll install it, but don't do an entire project.
Yeah. So this is why I always say buy local. Like, let's use Advanced Plumbing for an example.
Yep.
And who do you deal with? You deal with Josh Moss? Which one are all of them?
I don't go in there that often. The guys do.
You sent all your guys. Well,
but we got projects in Detroit, so the guys are all like Palmer Park.
Have you
and
been to
stuff.
their place in Detroit?
Yeah.
It's amazing, right?
Yeah.
They rock.
We're trying to do something. We were supposed to do a project next door to them, so they're going to let us use their parking lot. It was a great setup. I don't know if it's still on hold or not.
I'm sure. Well, listen, they're pretty accommodating, but they're fans of they're like Toto fans. And by the way, Toto's are really good.
Totos are nice toilets. Yeah.
I have a Toto in another bedroom, in my house, and got it from them, and it's great.
They're nice toilets.
Very nice.
Yeah.
And he's a Ritz guy.
Yeah.
Although they sell a lot of brands, and they're very, very knowledgeable when it comes to that. Now, would it be safe to say you could take the very best tankless water heater, whether it's your brand like Renai or Ritz, and if you don't install it right, it's worthless, right?
Correct.
So it doesn't matter. The best tankless is the one that's installed properly.
Correct.
That's what I want to make sure.
Anything's that way.
Well, because they say the Ritz has a 15-year warranty.
Oh, does it? I
Yeah.
wasn't aware of that. Yeah.
Well, we're gonna
On the burner assembly?
I don't.
I imagine. I'll have to look at that. I just don't.
What about the exhaust? Didn't they have to say it's metal because it corrodes or there's corrosion?
No, they're all PVC now. At
Okay.
least we use the PVC exhaust for Renai's most of the time.
That's what I figured. I wasn't sure. All right, when we come back, we're going to take a quick break. But what I want to talk about is I want to change subjects. We're going to talk about things you should never clean with soap. It's interesting. I read this. I loved it.
Oh, sounds
My name's
great.
Adam Helfman. Take a quick break. We'll be right back. Good morning. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. Thanks for tuning in, my friends. What's on your home improvement list? Because if you got it, we're here to help. 248-539-9797. Shout out Saturday. If you're a contractor, supplier, essential worker, text us 248-539-9797. We would love to hear from you. We'll give you a shout out. Joining me right now is Ron Alexander from Helfman Mechanical. Welcome back, Ron.
Good morning. I give a shout out to all my buddies over at Walcon Construction.
Walcon in the house.
Yep, good guys.
What do they do?
General contractor. We do a lot of
Residential
plumbing for
or
them. Both.
Commercial?
Both.
Really?
Yeah, most everybody's kind of involved in both now, unless you're just strictly a remodeling type of company. But a lot of guys get in a little dabble in both now.
Let me ask you a question. So you've been a plumber how long now? 30 years?
Since 86, when I got out of the service.
I graduated high school in 86.
Oh, God, don't make me feel that old, man. I know I'm 60.
Were you in the
going to
Navy?
be 61. I was in the Coast Guard.
Coast Guard. Thank you for your
The
service.
intelligent branch.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll get some emails on that one.
Yeah. Well, no, it's okay. Listen, Coast Guard, I like it.
I enjoyed it. It was great.
Good for you, man.
I wish I'd have stayed in and retired, but the pay was terrible. I couldn't make ends meet. I had to get out.
You know what's funny? I look back. I know people are going to think this is weird, but not going to believe me. But if I had a chance to do everything over when I got out of high school, I would have joined the Marines.
Yeah.
Just to say I served my country.
It was great, man. Boot camp was a blast. It was hard, but it was a blast. I loved it. Look, I was in a fraternity in college. I got that's
hazed.
almost the same thing.
Right? I did 6 months of being beat up as a pledge. And, I don't know. Whatever. But I just, again, not that I'm like some kind of person, but I just, I'm a patriot. I'm an American. Yeah. I love my country. So.
Me too. I've got you talk in my office, and you'll see a lot of that stuff in my office.
Well, listen, I just, listen, we have a constitution, and we got to follow it. The world's changing, so whatever. We're not talking politics.
Yeah,
we're going to talk home improvement.
We don't want to go down that rabbit hole.
Never. I get in trouble every time I do. I fight with everyone.
Oh, yeah.
My board operator, my producer's like shaking their head. They're like, Helfman, stay away, please.
Don't do it.
Stay out of there. He's got the dumb key right on his finger.
I want to start, but I'm not going to.
No, we can't. Let's just keep it to home improvement. It's an easier topic.
Exactly.
So, have you ever had calls for homeowners saying, hey, come and rescue my job? Someone started and never finished?
I think a lot of guys went out of business over the whole COVID deal. So we did have a lot of that stuff where the job might have been rough, but they're trying to get them back to do the finish, and they can't get them back. They're done. I mean, or guys that want to stay in business, but other guys quit and they're collecting unemployment, so they can't do the jobs. They have no employees. So I mean, we've gotten a lot of that stuff this year. So, I mean, I try to go out and look at it and make heads or tails of what they were doing, see what fixtures they might have. And then just, it's unfortunate that they put so much money down, but I gotta pay my guys. So
no, it is. I get it.
Do it, but
yeah. But you're very philanthropic. I've had people call you, and you've gone out there for free and helped them solve the problem. You've taken care of them. You've done a lot of good. You're a very philanthropic company, obviously.
We do a lot of that. I mean, if they'll call, if it's something simple, I'm going to have them FaceTime me, and I'm going to talk them through it. If it's just a simple drip, they turned on their hose bib for the season, and it's dripping.
Right.
It's tight in a packing nut. I get them on there, and because
tell them what to do.
I don't want to charge them $190, a service call or whatever, just to go out there for 5 minutes. And plus, it ties my guys up for something ridiculous. So I'd rather talk them through it, and then call me when you need me.
24. What's the number? 586
726-9444.
Shelby Mechanical. Ron Alexander, 30-year plumber. If you guys have a question, 248-539-9797. Text it to us. We'll answer it. I got a question about gas lines. So plumbers do gas lines.
Yeah. Yep.
So let me ask you this. You know how they put like dish soap around it to look for, what is the reason for is that check for leaks?
Yeah, it'll bubble up if there's a leak. Yep. Yeah, a lot of plumbers use that stuff. I mean, the gas companies have those little snifters. I think one of my guys bought one.
Beep, 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 beep,
yeah,
beep, beep,
you
beep,
can smell the gas. But
it works.
The bubbles show you right where it's at. I remember my dad showed me that when I was a kid hooking up appliances.
Right. So, dish soap. I was reading this article about 11 things you should never clean with dish soap. Interesting.
I mean, is that anything?
Right? Well, besides your dishes, right?
It should be interesting.
So here's the thing. Here's what it says. Hardwood floors. You should not use dish soap on hardwood floors.
Does it say why?
It says to clean them right away, start by sweeping, vacuuming, blah, blah, blah. And then it says it's important to choose the right cleaner for hardwood floors.
Okay.
Dish soap is not one of them. The other one is dishes when they're in the dishwasher.
Oh, yeah, let's bubble up.
Yeah, like, right? So
Oh,
you
yeah,
can't-
yeah.
You got to use dish soap.
Or in a, you know what? We were on vacation. My kids poured it in a jacuzzi.
Oh, that's fine.
That bubbled up. That was quite
Like
a mess,
huge.
but it's a good thing it was a rental.
Leather. Can't
Leather.
use dish soap to clean leather.
Wow. Yeah, I guess not.
And your dog.
Yeah, you're done.
Don't use dish soap to clean your dog.
Use Irish Spring.
Right? You can't use dish soap to clean your plants. I didn't know plants get dirty. When you water them, what's
Yeah, I
going
thought
on?
that, yeah, mist them or water them or something.
Silk clothing. Duh.
I don't think I own any silk clothing.
Yeah. How about cast iron frying pan?
Yeah, well, I knew that. That's a bad one.
Right? When we were renovating houses, I found a cast iron pan in a house,
Those things will last forever, man.
and literally, it looked like it was 50 years old at the time. I took it.
Oh, you can fix it. You can bring it back
I
to
know,
new.
It looks like it looks like gold now. It's so
Yeah.
beautiful. All right, we're gonna take a quick break. When we come back, more home improvement talk. Maybe some pizza talk.
Let's
too.
do some pizza talk.
I got a pizza oven. I can't
Pizza
wait
on
to
the
talk
toilet
about it.
talk.
Oh, I'm so ooh, that's a good one. My name's Adam Helfman. You're listening to the Hire It Done Radio Network. God, you did. Welcome back. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. We're talking home improvement, plumbing, toilets, pizza. We got everything going on. I've got Ron Alexander from Shelby Mechanical in studio. Welcome back, Ron.
Welcome. I'm hungry now. All this pizza talk. I'm starving.
Someone texted in, hey, Adam, I need outside spigots replaced with frost-free spigots.
Good choice.
My house is approximately 35 years old. I have 4 spigots. Would Ron be able to quote that for me?
Yeah, I mean, if you call the office, we have a regular price book, so we're not just pulling numbers off of our heads. So we're consistent with everybody. If they call,
what's the number again?
586-726-9444. I think the girls work a half a day. One of them usually answers the phone till like noon today or something, but they can give you a price at least.
So that's funny. The frost-free spigots is technology in plumbing, besides specs and some high efficiency stuff. There really hasn't been much, but I did recently see, and I want to ask you about it, and this might be too new. I've seen spigots that have quick disconnects. Like you push, it twists in and
those are like a big box store thing. I've seen them in there before.
And I've seen them on there, but I don't know. Is it worth it? Should I try one?
I don't know. Anything made out of plastic and hooked to a garden hose, you're going to be yanking around and everything. I switched to one of those hoses that shrink way down, but it has a really like a fire hose on this outside. Yeah. And they're really light. And I got 100 foot of it, and it works great. I got a power roller. It's the best thing I ever did because I drag the hose out and get water down by the beach, cleaning stuff up or whatever. It's fantastic. What a great thing. Because, a regular rubber hose, those things weigh a ton when you get 100 foot.
Right.
But I would just go with frost free and just they're great. You don't have to turn them off. I think what you're talking about, you attach it to any hose bib.
Maybe, and then
right?
I
don't think it's a hose bib.
It's a long stick, and then you stick it in, and it has
twists.
It twists and pops in.
Yeah. I've seen those before.
Yeah, I wasn't sure about that. 248-539-9797. Got a plumbing question this morning. We got Ron Alexander, 30-year master plumber in studio. You got a home improvement question that Google can't answer. We're here. Try us out. Maybe we can get you the right answer. Basement remodeling. We talked about sump pumps and all that. Basement remodeling ideas. A lot of people call me and say, hey, Adam, I got all the space in the basement. I need to do remodeling jobs. So let's talk about some ideas for homeowners. Because, a lot of times in a basement, the myth, I want to put this to the myths. Mm-hmm. Oh, my basement's pre-plumbed for a bathroom.
Yeah. It never works.
Right? They just stick a couple pipes up in the ground. Now, here's the best part. I believe, and maybe you've told me this, you said it's no big deal to change the location of the drains and all that.
Not really. We do it every day.
It's not a big deal. You just break the floor up. You put the drain lines in. You connect. When you connect the drains, what do you connect to?
We connect to their system that's already underground. They have a sanitary system. So at least if they bring in some rough-ins for a future bathroom, at least we've got the pipe there. And we might, depending on how long ago it was done, we might have to add a backwater valve. Any opening now under new construction has to have, opening in the basement has to have a backwater valve. So we do that.
Yeah. Well, that's what I wasn't sure.
But designing it, we can move it anywhere. I mean, usually, actually, we had a meeting this last week over at Steve Iverson's shop. Have you been to his new shop?
I have not. He just ran into me recently. It's like, you got to come to the new shop.
This is gorgeous.
Right?
Unbelievable. You bought an old carpet store. You walk in, and there's displays and conference rooms. Oh, it's fantastic. What a great building.
And he's, Steve Iverson, by the way, for everyone out there, is Finished Basements Plus. He also does basement waterproofing.
Yeah, yep. His brother just takes care of that because we've been working with him on that with that system we're talking about earlier.
Yeah,
he comes in and does a whole new weep system inside, and we can do that with conjunction with what we're doing.
Oh, so you guys match it up?
Yeah, so we work together
do you like
on
that system that they do.
Yeah, I'm not really familiar with how many systems are out there.
Yeah,
but I mean, if it's a new system, if there's any new system to do with anything with a basement, you can bet Steve Iverson got involved with it or learned it or sent his guys to learn how to install it.
Well, it's funny. I did a lot of research and deep dives on waterproofing for basements because there's a lot of shady companies out there that have come and gone.
Yep.
And my first go-to is an outside system, meaning get the water before it comes in your basement.
Right.
But what I've come to learn, because there's so many houses,
you can't dig all the way around.
You can't. No. And so what is your alternative if you can't? Because look, you got a house with the driveway up the side, right? And the driveway's right against
Usually
the
a
house.
deck or a patio or something. Yeah.
A deck, so you're screwed.
You can't do it.
Or you can cut everything out and then report it, and that triples the price.
Exactly.
So we're not all made of money. So the question is what do you do? Well, you go from the inside and you catch the water when it comes in, and then you manage it away.
Exactly.
In the very simplest terms. Now, can you do it that way? Yes. Can it be done right? Of course.
Yes.
The key is proper installation and properly done.
True.
I have a friend recently who lives in Ferndale and had a company that he didn't get from Hireton that literally put an inside drain system in, but poured the concrete like a quarter or 3/4 of an inch thick on the top.
Geez.
So when you walk on it,
It crunches.
and it hollow.
Oh my god!
So he calls the company. He said, "Well, your footing, your block footing was too high, so we had to thin in the concrete." I'm like, "No, you dig around it and you just go out."
Yeah.
And they took a shortcut.
Yep.
And
exactly.
it's no good now.
Yep. A lot of guys they throw in 2 sump baskets, and there's no need for that either. You get into a bigger 12,000 square foot house, yeah, but most homes don't let them sell you another sump basket. You don't need it, and a lot of inspectors won't pass it. I mean, we had a meeting in
This guy didn't
Macomb
pull a
Township
permit.
too. Yeah, well, see, there's an issue too.
Well, here's the thing. They said the thing on they have a pre-printed homeowner doesn't want a permit. So they try and blame the homeowner, but they don't realize, contractors, if a homeowner says no permit, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't
the law
matter.
is the law.
Yep.
I told you to speed.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly.
Your officer, he's the one who told me to speed.
Yep.
Well, your foot was on the pedal, son.
Yep. Exactly.
The ticket's going to you.
Yeah. There's
It's just that bad. Here's a text that came in. I have a Michigan basement, tight space under my house. I was wondering how difficult is it to change pipes in that area? You just send what you have like little.
Are they talking about their water lines? Maybe they want to change
let's
them.
assume it's
Probably.
water lines,
yeah.
yeah.
No, we can figure it out. We can fish PEX most of the time in crawl spaces and whatnot. We can find a way to do it with minimal drywall damage most of the time. Most of the time we'll drill through the cabinets, the floor for the toilet, and then we can fish them through because they probably have a Michigan basement, which is usually like 4 or 5 foot, and then a crawl spacer on the other part of the house, and we can usually fish those lines through.
Yeah.
If they got old galvanized, yeah, let's get rid of them.
And that's the best thing. Do you recommend if the pipes are not leaking, they're galvanized, and there's no problem with the water pressure, is there any health hazards or any issues why someone should replace them or leave them?
No, not that I'm aware of. It's funny that you get a lot of these old houses in Detroit, and they want to change them all. They're all worried about that, and then the services lead coming to the house. So, that makes a lot of sense too. But I don't think in galvanized. It's just if you got good pressure and you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it. I don't see any reason for it.
Well, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
Eventually they're going to close up, though.
It's 30 years old, his roof, and the shingles are curling. It's old. It's got moss growing on it. And he calls me up and says, "Adam, it doesn't leak. What do I do?"
It's going to.
I said, "Do me a favor." I said, go get 2 or 3 estimates and just see what it costs.
Yeah.
I said, but here's the thing. Are you going to wait till it leaks? What are you going to wait?
Right.
He goes, I don't, it's an average. He goes, how much is an average? I go, today over 10,000.
Yeah.
And his house is big, so it's probably going to be 15,000, 20,000.
20. Wow.
So the question is if it doesn't leak, what do you do? I said, get the prices, and then you'll have yourself a reality check, and then you'll figure it out.
Then you figure it out. Yeah.
All right.
Makes sense.
We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, I want to talk to you about gas lines for outdoors, fireplaces, plumbing for a water feature. You guys can do all that, right?
Yeah, we do.
I was going to say, I want to make sure, how do you do outside plumbing and make sure it doesn't freeze? We're going to take a quick break. My name's Adam Helfman, 248-539-9797. Text us. We got you right here. This is the Hire It Done Radio Network. Welcome back. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. Ron Alexander from Shelby Mechanical in studio. Welcome back, Ron.
Good morning. A lovely early Saturday morning.
It's not that early.
No, it isn't.
You're an early bird, aren't you?
I am. Yeah, I'm up at 5 o'clock no matter what day it is.
Me too.
I can't help
Well, we've had a good summer, but we've had a couple days of rain too.
Oh, yeah.
And outdoor living to me is the new staycation because the pandemic made everyone learn to live and
Just live at home.
right. And so that's how we, have fun. But I've learned to really enjoy my backyard. And during the pandemic, I became addicted to pizza.
Watching our buddy.
Barstool Sports.
Barstool
One bite,
Sports,
everyone knows the
yeah.
rules. I literally love pizza. In fact, I got in trouble the other day when I told Freddie the pizza man to open up by my part of town, which is Birmingham, Bloomfield. I said, you could charge double, and they'd pay it.
Yeah.
And people got mad at me, but they didn't realize if he charges double, it's still less than the pizza places in Birmingham. I mean, really, dude?
Yep.
And it's great pizza.
If it's good pizza.
But now I'm in the space of doing it in my house. Joining me on the phone right now is a good friend and partner with Hire It Done, Matt Bullier from Bullier's Barbecue in Royal Oak. Good morning, Matt.
Hey, how you doing?
We're so good over here in the studio. We wish you were with us, my friend. How's it going?
Maybe next time I'll stop into the studio.
Well, we got room for you. We always have. So, yeah, let's do it for next time. But for today, though, we got all kinds of good home improvement advice. In fact, Ron Alexander's co-hosting today with me. He's from Shelby Mechanical, great plumber, does gas lines and stuff. And so, Matt, why don't you introduce yourself to the Hire It Done audience again and tell everyone what you do and where you guys are located.
I'm on Woodward Avenue. I'm the CEO of Bullier's Barbecue and Fireplace, one of the largest barbecue and fireplace stores in the area.
Locally owned, family owned, amazing staff. One of the things that stood out to me when I went in there was the knowledge of your employees.
That's huge.
And Matt, you know how you can tell when somebody has super good knowledge of what they're selling? Here, go ahead.
Yeah. I was curious on your feedback on that.
So when they ask good questions, and like I went in there and said, "Yeah, I'm looking for a barbecue." And they're like, "Well, can I ask you a few questions?" I'm like, "Of course." How often do you like to barbecue? What do you like to barbecue? Do you do it? What kind of food? Do you have parties? And it navigates and gathers information from your people to point us in the right direction of what kind of barbecue you want. And I literally, you don't get that at a big box store. You don't get that anywhere except your place. And for anyone out there thinking of getting a barbecue or a fireplace or outdoor living, it's just a game changer. And it's better because you guys are local, family-owned Michigan operations, which really makes good for me. I love that. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, that comes from doing it for 21 seasons. You learn to sell the people what they want so that they're happy with it.
Yeah, well, there you go. And happy is a loose term today because I don't think the world's been happy for the last year and a half.
No. Are more people buying charcoal or gas grills?
It's honestly this last season, lot more of the secondary type grills, pellet and charcoal, are even more popular than gas, I think, right now.
That's what I thought. I know a lot of people. A lot of cooking shows are going all charcoal.
Yeah, I see that.
Green eggs.
And those pellets and stuff. So,
yeah.
Matt, tell everyone for the audience out there, what does it mean when you say a pellet grill?
So the pellet-fired grills, instead of using charcoal, they use a compressed pellet, and they cook so they can use a computer-controlled timer. They feed it as it needs it. So it will run, you set it at 200, it will do it all on its own versus you have to play with it and slow down and speed up the charcoal.
Does it have flavor? Is it flavor like charcoal, or is it just more for control
I would say I've cooked on both pretty extensively, and it's still wood, but it's a milder with the pellets than it is with charcoal. Like if you don't like the food super smoky, it's a little less smoky with the pellets.
Oh, that's interesting. And you guys, the pellets, you buy them by the bag?
Yeah, they come in 20, 40-pound bags.
Okay, so then you supply everything. So let's talk about my favorite thing. So recently, I just got, in fact, yesterday, I got a pizza oven delivered to my house that I patiently waited for from you guys.
Pizza at Adams.
So let's talk about that. Is that a fast-growing trend in outdoor barbecuing and living, pizza ovens?
Compared to 5 years ago, yes. It probably had picked up probably in the last 3 or 4 years.
Okay, well, I love it. And by the way, your guys came to my house. I just want to let you know this. You had 3 guys, and just to watch them unload this, prep it, place it for me, hook it up, clean it. I mean, like, it's like a new car delivery.
Does it set on a stand, or did you have something built for it, Adam?
It came with a rolling stand.
Came with a rolling stand, so it's all set up.
Game changer. So, Matt, tell everyone about this kind of oven that you guys sell.
So it's Fontana Pizza Ovens are the brand that we chose because they're made in Italy, and they've been doing it longer than everybody else, so they're probably the most experienced. So they have the best, thickest materials. They cook the best. They got 4 3/4 insulation in it, so you can actually like put your hand on the top of it on the outside. You know, other ovens, the small, cheapy ones, if you touch them, you'll burn yourself. Very impressive. They get hotter. I
love mine. I have not cooked a pizza in it, but literally after the show today, I'm going to the grocery store. I'm getting all my ingredients, and I'm going to weigh myself because I want to get a weight of myself before I start my pizza extravaganza. And then every 30 days, I'm going to find out how much weight I gained making pizzas. And I'm so excited. You have no idea. So we're talking with Matt Bullier from Bullier's Barbecue. They're on Woodward Avenue, like 13 and a half. Like, it's at Normandy, right?
Yeah, it's just north of Normandy.
By the old Big Art Van that was like a landmark there. You're across the street. And literally outdoor living is on fire right now. Everybody wants something for the outdoor. And one of the things I like about your place, Matt, is that besides barbecues, besides grills and pellets and every supply you can think of that goes along with it, including rubs and barbecue sauce, by the way, which I'm loving, there's other things that you sell. Fire pits, fire tables. Let's talk about that for a second. What's a fire table?
So a lot of people buy patio furniture and have a seating area, and then once the sun goes down, you want something else going on. So we sell gas fire pit tables. They come in round, square, and rectangle, so you can organize it around your furniture. And they come in so many variety, shapes, and colors, and even heights. So we carry quite a few of them so that it'll match your decor. So,
and by the way, just for everyone out there listening, you just got a big shipment of stuff in stock, because a lot of times, it was so popular that there was a wait, but you've got some stuff in stock now where if someone's looking to get this, they might as well come over right away and get it. Am I right for saying that?
Yeah, last season, just because of the pandemic and everything being shut down for so long, product disappeared, and it was selling faster than people could replace it. But, yeah, we've done a lot of strides to make sure that we filled our showroom and our warehouse full of product.
Okay, so you got that in stock, and I love that. Now, one of the other things I've been seeing on a lot of social media and these, like, fire pit, these outdoor aluminum round fire pits, I guess. Have you seen those where the air goes through the base and then sucks up and there's no smoke?
Yeah, that's the so what they did is the idea of doing the pellet grills, because they don't smoke as much as a fire wood and charcoal. They have created we get a lot of calls for this too. You put pellets in there, you can actually burn wood in there too. And what they did is they injected air under the fire, so there are a lot less smoke coming off of them.
Oh, that's cool. Okay. And they get really hot.
Yeah, they get pretty hot, yeah.
I just saw
one that was made in the U.S., and it's all stainless, because I think the steel ones will rust out. So a lot of people want one that's stainless, because Michigan, once it rains, if you burn wood on steel, it'll corrode pretty quickly.
And that's like what is that like what do you call that, a fire pit, or what is the official name of that?
The Flame Genie is the one that we went with, and there's a couple brands out there that are popular all over social media, and they're all pretty close. It's like one person developed it, and then everyone kind of copied it, and there's several versions out there.
And what do they like price range? Is there a price range where they start at?
They're at like $300 for the stainless steel one. There is less expensive steel ones, but I would recommend the stainless just
Is it
because
rust-proof?
Michigan's brutal.
Yeah,
The
that's what I
stainless, yeah.
thought. That makes sense. All right, we're going to take a quick break, Matt. Can you hang on? I want to continue the chat. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to talk outdoor barbecues, outdoor living, furniture, heating, outdoor heating. Oh, I want to talk about that as well. Give it a minute, my friends. We'll be right back. This is the Hire It Done Radio Network. Welcome back. This is Hire It Done. My name's Adam Helfman. We've got Ron Alexander in studio. Shelby Mechanical. Welcome back, Ron.
Good morning, everyone.
And on the line, we got Matt Bullier from Bullier's Barbecue and Fireplace in Royal Oak. Matt, you got another location as well, don't you?
There are two more other family locations. There's one in Macomb and one in Clinton Township.
Fantastic. And you guys are open today, right?
Yes. Yeah, till 6.
So we were talking about fire pits, which is like a fast-growing, popular, and you recommend the Flame Genie, which is stainless steel, which makes perfect sense for Michigan, so it doesn't rust, which obviously is what we want. But the other thing is, I like to eat out a lot at restaurants, and I like outside patios, and they have these heaters. But I never knew that you could get them for your house, and you guys have a full line of outdoor heating.
Yeah, we went along and we did try to do good, better, best. So we have the standard dome heaters that you can buy for about $200. And then we just brought in, to match our Italian pizza ovens, we brought in Lava Heat from Italy. They make those patio heaters that you see the flame shoot all the way up, and they also heat. So the difference between that one and some of the other models is the Lava Heat can shoot like a 4-foot flame. Some of them only have a 2 that you see at the restaurants.
Yeah.
And the BTUs are much higher, and then they're commercial grade, so they can actually take like a hose and spray it while it's going, and it doesn't damage it because they use a thicker glass.
Wow, that's interesting.
It is. That's what you need, Adam.
I need one of those. I'm glad. It now necessitates another trip to your store. You're located. The store that I go to is the one on 13 and a half in Woodward in Royal Oak, and of course,
I like the one out in Macomb. That's by me.
Yeah. So Ron from the east side, he likes that one. So Ron had a question at the break. He wants to get one of those egg type
the $1 million question, Matt.
You have
green egg or Kamado Joe?
All right. So Kamado Joe, 10 years ago, I would have said green egg was number one. And then when Kamado Joe patented a new lift, so you can literally pick even the extra large up with your pinky. And
That's
they
nice.
also, when they sell theirs, they're all in one. So you get every device, including where the grates can be adjusted high and low, and you can do slow and fast cooking because it's split in half. So they just really improved their cooking system, and the fact that anyone can use it, including the wife, because they can literally pick it up with their pinky.
Right.
So they really jumped ahead of egg and technology overall.
And you have them in stock?
Oh, yes.
All right. You'll probably be seeing me today then.
Well, there you have it.
We had to ship them in from the West Coast because the East Coast distributors are all out.
Oh.
Wow. Well, there you go. So if someone wants to order one, how long does it usually take on on normal times?
We have them all in stock, so when you buy something from us, we can deliver it within 24 to 48 hours. And luckily, since we bought all the ones on East and West Coast, we have them in stock.
Wow. Do you set it up, everything? You deliver it, it's all put together?
They'll fully build it in your yard, just like the pizza oven. They'll come out and assemble it and put it together and show you how to use it.
So there you have it. See, that's full service.
Yeah.
And you're local, family-owned. How long have you guys been in business, Matt?
I started in 99, but the overall family started in 48 with my grandfather. We're on our 4th generation now.
Wow.
Oh, my God. Congratulations. 96% of all businesses fail in the first 5 years. So I'm literally overimpressed with that one, which is good. So what's the most popular item this time of year? Like, can someone get outdoor fireplace? I mean, outdoor furniture from you? It's hard to get everything right now. What's popular right now?
In the spring, they tend to buy the grills, right out of the gate. And then you're right, it starts changing as the season goes on. After people sit in their yard long enough, they start dreaming about, the heaters and the fire tables and the furniture. Macomb still has a lot of furniture in stock. So, yeah, it kind of shifts a little bit as the season goes on. And eventually people start dreaming about, as it gets cooler at night, about fireplaces.
Yeah, there you go. Gas fireplaces, too.
Yes. Well, yeah, of course.
Are Peterson still around? Peterson Logs, you carry that brand? I know they were big years ago.
Around. They're the oldest brand. They're probably in 50-plus years they've been around.
Wow.
Well, that's important. So what about outdoor fireplaces? Like an actually built in, someone wants to say, all right, I'm going to do an outdoor kitchen. I'm going to have a grill. I'm going to have a refrigerator. I'm going to have a pizza oven. And I also want a fireplace. You guys can get all the components necessary for somebody who wants to do a project like that. Is that correct?
Yeah, we sell, so if you want the fire pit look where it's more like open like a chalet, we sell all the burners and all the trays, and you can do glass or gas logs, and you can put a gas fire pit unit, and we sell them in all varieties. So if your contractor hand builds your pit, we got the internal guts for it. And then some people just buy a regular, like they're pre-made. They got pre-made fireplaces too, where you could have the look where it's got the opening like a traditional inside one on the outside, but they make them all out of stainless steel.
Interesting. Very interesting. Well,
That is.
I like that.
Can you view it from two sides? They have one like you can view from two sides?
They have two-sided, single-sided, and then they have contemporary looks where it's more like a linear flame and glass in there, and then they also still have your traditional log looks.
Nice.
Yeah, that's interesting. So if someone needs design help, someone wants to come in and say, look, I have this concept, this idea, can your staff and the people at Bolliers help someone create their outdoor living environment and dream?
Our salespeople have been, most of them are averaged 20, 25 years in the business, so they've all really experienced. So when you come in and you kind of describe, or if you even find something online that you want to bring in and say, I'm looking to do something like this, then we'll go over and we'll show you what we have on display, give you the brochures, send you cut sheets, work with your contractor if you need to until you get what you came in you were looking for.
Oh, that's interesting.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
Matt, gas logs in a fireplace where the family room is on a slab. Do you guys trench that line outside, or do you mount it, or how do you, or does it, the way it's been built dictate which way you do it?
That's always been, depends on how much patio's there. So if there's a concrete patio, then you may want it to stay on the outside of the house and, mount it above the frost line like you have to.
Mm-hmm.
If it's dirt and flowers and where we can dig it up, then that's probably better to not see it at all.
Right.
It just depends. That's a preference, but we're probably not going to cut your patio out to do it if that's just going to be too extensive.
Okay.
Well, that's one way to do it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I did them years ago, and I know it was always the question.
So, Matt, let me ask you a question. What are the hours today?
Today we are open 10 to 6.
Okay, perfect. So if anyone wants to go by Bolliers, you have 3 locations. Check out what they have. And the other thing I wanted to ask you is the accessories. Now let's say you have a barbecue, but you need a new rotisserie, you need a new charcoal, you need pellets, even rubs and sauces. I'm amazed every time I go there. I find something new. It's like a candy store. It's a palette. I love it, Matt. Let's talk about accessories. Can you just give a brief description of everything you have there?
Everything from the toppers. So if you want to do vegetables on the grates, every type of rotisserie basket, rotisserie kits. We sell probably 30 to 50 different rubs and sauces. Wow. Thermometers, a full thermometer department, whether you just want like a stick and stay or whether you want like a quick read digital or you want the kind that sits on your shelf that you can monitor the food from your smartphone. Every type of accessory, we filled that 8,000 square foot building of everything you can think of, even bacon, like a rack that you can cook bacon on so it won't burn too fast on the grill.
Yummy.
We probably got it.
Oh, I love that.
What about covers? Is that bad for a grill? Holding moisture in, or is it good?
I don't cover mine in the summer because I'm using it all the time. But if I'm going to, take a couple weeks off in the winter or when the intense snow's out, then I throw the cover on. But I don't bother to cover it all the time. It just depends on the customers too. Some people cover it all the time.
Okay, it doesn't trap moisture.
That makes sense.
Like they had vents in them now, so they really improved the materials of the covers. They're not just this big garbage bag, basically, type material that goes over them. They're made of breathable vinyls.
Oh, good.
That's smart. And so if anyone needs a cover, they can come see you also, is right?
Yeah, we have probably every shape, size. You just measure your grill left to right, bring what kind it is, and usually we can match it up.
Perfect. Well, Matt, look at time flies when you're having fun. We got to go. Matt Bollier from Bollier's Barbecue. Thanks for calling in. Don't forget, next time we're going to be talking fireplaces. It's coming up, my friends. Appreciate it, my friend. And thanks for calling in. Ron, you see how fast?
Yeah, it goes fast.
I love it. I have the best time on Saturday morning. Thanks for coming in yourself.
No problem.
I appreciate you, my friend.
Anytime.
And I want to thank everyone for tuning in today Hire It Done is here every week. If you have home improvement questions, you can always email me, adam@hireitdone.com. Go to the website, find good contractors. It's Broilier's Barbecue in Fireplace on Woodward Avenue at 13.5 Mile. Amazing place. And you know what? We're here to have some fun. So I want to thank you for tuning in. We'll see you all next week.